Crypto firm blockchain.com rides Bitcoin mania to a $5.2 billion valuation. Blockchain.com has raised $300 million in a quote unquote mega fundraising round, valuing the company at $5.2 billion. Just 1 month ago, the company raised $120 million at a $3 billion valuation. At the same time, Bitcoin sleuthing startup Chainanalysis doubles their valuation to $2 billion, this time with backing by Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff. Dan, Eve, what's going on with these crypto companies and their valuations? They are raising tons of money. Is it worth it?
Well, it seems like they're definitely benefiting from the bull runners as well. It's kind of, maybe it's that in a gold rush, people buy like the diggers and stuff, the mining tools, and maybe in this case the mining tools are the blockchain companies. So I can imagine these companies that are putting some money into Bitcoin, then some money into actual companies that are working on Bitcoin based products that have longevity, so that in a Bitcoin crash, at least there's still income coming in from whatever services that are being provided. But I think it's a good thing that there's so much investment in the space. It's kind of worrying when you think about it, that there's so much money now into Bitcoin snooping, and how good is that snooping going to be? And realistically, with FATFA coming in on heavy, like the initial heavy regulation on, say, DeFi space and NFTs and stuff, that probably gives a bit of a background as to why Chainanalysis has got so much backing at the moment, because regulators around the world are going to want that control. They're going to want to monitor and see where all the money's moving. They're going to eventually kind of kick off a bit more about coin joins and things like that. And it's a sad thing for Bitcoiners to see that element of privacy sort of slipping away. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to kind of, mitigate that with more kind of cool stuff like coin joins and other incognito mode transactions.
I agree, Dan. We picked these two companies for a reason. They are particularly unique in this space. Josh Shigala, what about the two new firms, blockchain.com and Coinanalysis?
Yeah, blockchain.com, they've been around forever, and they were the first company to have trustless online wallets, because back in the day, the online wallets were all, hosted by people, and they weren't encrypted, and they would run off with everyone's Bitcoin, and are probably billionaires right now. But blockchain.com built the first one where it was fully encrypted on your end, on the browser end, so they couldn't do that, and that was a really big thing, back then. So I just am fascinated by the fact that they raised that much, because I guess it's the name, but I haven't heard them really innovate that much for a long time, and that's unfortunate, because they are really innovative. No, they are. And it's just, I would like to see them innovate more. Saying that, I don't really know.
There's always still a chance for any of these companies to, again, take a stand on Lightning. Get out there and get ahead of this with the Lightning thing. I don't think that the market's been cornered on Lightning. A lot of these companies that maybe were on the wrong side of the scaling war and they feel bad about it, maybe it's time to put that aside and get that new business. Because again, I think with blockchain.com, what we're really looking at is, who's PayPal going to buy? They're not going to buy Coinbase. Blockchain.com is getting pretty big. It might be a merger. But again, what are they going to merge for? A wallet? The way to buy Bitcoin? There's lots of ways to buy Bitcoin now. There's not lots of ways to do Lightning really easy. There's not lots of other really neat new technologies that they could be serving to people.
Yeah, BitPay should definitely take Lightning. Like BitPay is, it would be such an awesome move if they did that. That would really help them massively.
And again, what a comeback! And no one would care. Like again, if Roger wants to come back, if BitPay wants to come back, all these people just want you to be on the right side of the issue. They're not going to be like, oh, you were wrong before, blah blah. No, we will completely forget that. Say nice things about BitPay. But again, like you're saying, the innovation, these old firms, they have tons of money. We know they have kind of cypherpunk people at the top, like initially. They had a reason to get into Bitcoin. I don't know what it is specifically, but they don't do anything, right? They're not exciting. And instead, we've got, like Josh was saying yesterday on the news, CoinKite with the block clock. They made the little thing that Jack from Twitter puts in his background. Like, that could have been Coinbase. That could have been blockchain.com. Even Blockstream, honorable mention. They make a lot of hats. You know, that's something. It's kind of outside the box a little.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and in terms of Chainalysis, you know, the thing with Chainalysis is it's a brilliant business because no one actually uses them, but everyone has to pay for a subscription. So if you're a Bitcoin company and you want to be regulated, you got to pay the regulators, and to pay the regulators, they got to tick the boxes. And one of the boxes is, do you have a Chainalysis style thing? And of course, you have to say, okay, I will get, and then you pay them, and then you check the box. And the regulators never ask for it. I'm not saying that just like that. Like I've noticed, and I've talked to certain people and lots of people in the space, and they all say the same. No one's ever checked what the Chainalysis stuff. So the data that Chainalysis may give all these different companies is never really used at all. So I think the only way you can do stuff is like by, say you get a transaction and one transaction ago, it came from the dark web. You know, that sort of stuff's useful because you're like, oh, okay, boom, done. But,
Jack Hughes.
But in terms of like the deeper stuff, it's like no one, you know, it's just a great business model because everyone has to buy it. It's forced by the state to have this stuff by pretty much every government, and you just wouldn't really use it that often.
That is an interesting idea, Josh. I hadn't thought that everyone was required to buy it. And now that I think it's a lot more likely that there'll be a Chainalysis 2 competing with them rather than zero Chainalysis is like I would like to see.
Yeah, there'll be many Chainalysis companies. Yeah, I mean, there's already a few. What's the big miner that? Anyway, there's a few.
Let's go to Oscar. Your thoughts on blockchain.com and Chainalysis?
I think yeah. To keep it short, we're seeing a very interesting phenomenon here. Like possibly the NFTs. The NFT bull market is in the driving seat now, at the steering wheel, and company evaluations like from blockchain.com and Chainanalysis are following. Yeah, so possibly it's a change of paradigm. No, but me personally, being an investor, from that perspective, I would prefer to speculate on rare paper, and yeah, I think that would be much more fun and valuable than putting your money in a company like Chainanalysis. But yeah, that's up to the world outside. Yeah.
That is a good point, Oscar. The entire raise by blockchain.com of $300 million is only what, 4 or 5 of those Beeple pieces at $70 million. So maybe they just could have sold NFTs instead of raising traditional venture capital. They could have just made some really nice garbage pail kids or something.
Yeah, and at the end, it's also only token, right?